how you revise, basically. And this is what our lessons always look like. You don't realize it's happening, but this is what I'm doing every lesson. So I've just named the phases just to make it sound like something. So the first thing we do is we unlock your memory. Okay, so you're asking the question, what do I already know? So remember, I should really have started off with, you should have a target for each section. Okay, so, whoops, no, didn't want to do that. I wanted that. So, by the end of this session, I will be able to fill it in. Okay, so that's what you should have. And so based on whatever this X is, you then spend 5-10 minutes going, what do you know? That's why at the beginning of this session, what I will do is, what will I get you to do? I'll get you to answer the question, won't I? And I ask you questions first before I give it. I don't start off by teaching, do I? No, I always start off by asking you questions. This is what I'm doing. So then the next phase is upgrade. Okay, so this is filling your gaps. So you notice what I do is I always ask you questions up until, when do I help you? At what point do I start helping you? Yeah, when I know that you genuinely cannot, you've gone as far as you can go, and I have to push you sometimes. I don't have to push you as much as I used to have to. Now you're kind of better you're much better actually at getting yourself to that point where it's like, okay, I actually genuinely don't know. Okay, and so then you focus on filling your gaps. The way that I like to do it sometimes is, so I'll have, if say, what's it that you struggle with? Physics. So what's the thing that you struggle with most in physics? Okay, so I would be picking a particular formula and okay, can I remember, let's say by the end of this session, I want to be able to use an X formula in 3 exam questions, for example. Okay, so I'm going to go, okay, what do I already know about this formula? Let's say there are 3 parts of the formula. I remember 2 of them. I'm going to write those down in my normal black pen. Then I'm going to go to my revision guide, my notes or whatever, or go online or see my tutor once you've got one. And then you want to fill your gaps. And so then in a different color, you then fill in those gaps. So you can do the same with grammar, vocabulary, anything. So that's Spanish wise, but that's physics. So you fill those gaps. So then you've got a set of notes with 2 different colors. One color is what you already knew. Another color is highlighting. Okay, this is actually what I need to make sure that I keep practicing and revising. Okay. Then the next thing that you do is then you apply it with your notes. So you do practice exercises. So you do practice questions with your notes. So you're looking at your notes while you're doing it, because the point of this, the goal of this section isn't to memorize these facts. That will actually happen automatically by you actively using them. The goal is you being able to apply this knowledge, because regardless of what exam you're doing, whether it be Spanish, whether it be English, whether it be maths, you have to apply knowledge that you're learning. So the key thing is to apply them with your notes. So that should be the biggest chunk of your session. And that, even in our lessons, is the biggest chunk of our session. Then the last thing you want to do is assess yourself. So you then do an exam question cannot spell without, evidently, without your notes, and you mark it. And you make note of, you want to know what went well, where are your gaps, what do you need to do to improve? Okay, so then you're clear on that, because this becomes the target for your next session. And then to retain the knowledge. Okay, and this is what I've been doing with you with your independent study tasks, is you do the assess task, and I would like everybody to do it like this. This is just a framework that if you're doing it on your own, so you do it 1 day later, 3 days later, 7 days later. Do you know, just 1 day? So what we do today if you do not do something about it tomorrow, that's why you felt like you've made quite a bit of progress this week. But if you do not do something about that knowledge tomorrow, you will have forgotten 40% of it. If you wait 3 days, you'll have forgotten 90%. That's why I have 1 day later. So then you remember, so that 40%. Then 3 days later, that 90% goes up. And then 7 days later, it sticks in your brain and you'll be able to remember between 90 and 100% of what you were doing. And if you structure every single bit of your revision like this, you'll get a grade 9 in every subject.